Dadaji, if I want to follow this path, what do I need to do?
Well, the first thing is that one has to have a sincere desire that I want to do something with my life. I want to fulfill myself in my personal life. I want to do something which will be good for me and good for society. Because that's the source of motivation. Because there are many things Ananda Marga teaches which can help us, but if there isn't that longing, that desire, that willingness to follow it, then we can learn it and then it will just stay on the wayside, and then we will say, oh, why when these things are there, why I don't progress? So really, to bring about genuine progress, there must be a sincere desire, a genuine search. And but if we have that, then the second step is that we should establish contact with, come in contact with some Acharya of Ananda Marga or some teacher of Ananda Marga, and learn, get initiated, means get instruction in meditation of how I can begin to develop the power to be able to do all the things which I want to do, as Ananda Marga says, to do service and to serve society, or to build a new society, or to grow physically, mentally and spiritually. So Ananda Marga meditation system is called Sahaj Yoga. The first step is called, it means yoga simplified, so that because what Ananda Marga has tried to do is socialize these practices, so that it's not before you had to wait for 12 years before you would get the first lesson in Tantra Yoga. But in Ananda Marga, it says that no, you don't need to wait for 12 years before you get Ishwar Pranidhan or before you get lessons. But at the same time, you must learn, in a stepwise way. So there are 6 lessons, in Ananda Marga meditation, Ananda Marga sadhana, as we call it. Sadhana means a spiritual effort to realize oneself. So, and before we can practice those lessons, we have to become familiar with Jama and Niyama, which is the moral code of conduct, which means ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, parigraha, shauch, santosh, tapa, swadhyaya, ishwar pranidhan. That means, I must be ready to do those things which are good for myself and which are not harmful for the society. So we must take a certain vows that yes, I will lead my life in such a way that I will not cause harm to others. It does not mean that, at least knowingly, consciously, we might still inadvertently do something or say something which might hurt another people, but that is not our desire, not our conscious desire. So when we get initiated, we have to reaffirm those principles which will form the foundation of Ananda Marga sadhana. And basically it's to lead a path of harmony with myself and with the rest of society. And then we get those instructions over a period of time, and it does not cost anything. They are free of charge, because we feel that just like to breathe in this world, you don't need to pay money to breathe. So similarly, to practice meditation or to have the guidance of the spiritual master to attain higher realization, there should not be, you cannot really measure it in any material wealth. So these practices are taught free of charge by acharyas. But and once we learn those practices, then of course we also need to take some duty, to serve the society. Means have some. Means not only you do your meditation and then you say I have nothing to do with this world. No, we practice meditation, but also I must take some responsibility to do some service in the world. So that's where there is scope to participate in the different departments of Ananda Marga, different organizations and sub-organizations. And there are many. There are dozens of organizations which are related, which stem from Ananda Marga in the field of art and culture. There is Renaissance Universal, or RAVA, Renaissance Artists and Writers Association. So you can engage yourself to do creative things, and through that creative things help humanity. Or you can participate in AMURT, Ananda Marga Universal Relief Team, and provide help to people who are undergoing some physical sufferings or psychic sufferings during the times of disasters, temporary relief or permanent relief. You can participate in EROS, Education, Relief and Welfare section. So as a part of that, you can help to start schools for children, or high schools, or universities in different parts of the world. Or you can establish children homes, orphanages, for those children who have no parents, or whose parents are very, very poor and they cannot afford to get proper education or proper care. Through those children homes, they can get proper care. So we can help to establish those, or to help those which are already established. And or we can help to build ecological farms, or to establish commercial projects which can provide good products to the world, and which can also generate funds in order to help to run these different activities, because you cannot always depend on donation. Sometimes, yes, for our different activities we rely on donations of the members and also the public in general, but also when you establish permanent projects, you need to have some activity which will generate some funds which will support those projects so that they become more sustainable. So we also establish industries or cooperatives, or or just projects, whether they are in the field of agriculture, or they are agro industry or agrico industry, or just commercial activities. So actually the scope of service is so vast in Ananda Marga that people, according to their own temperament, they find what they want to do. And some who want to only spread, kirtan, or which is like spiritual dancing, or kaushiki, which is like a dance which is the cure for 22 different diseases of the body, and is the panacea for many women diseases, and it especially was given by the founder of Ananda Marga for women. It's called kaushiki. So you can teach this kaushiki to all the people, or you can organize collective meditation. It's called Dharma Chakra, where people can come together every week and meditate together to strengthen their spiritual nucleus in the society. Or you can teach yoga to people also, not as a commercial thing, but to help people. And usually we say that the yogic guidance needs one-to-one, because each person has specific needs. So some things can be done by anybody, but some things require personal guidance. So we teach the acharyas or the teachers. They provide this guidance on a one-to-one basis, and so really the scope of participation in Ananda Marga is very vast. But the fundamental thing is that before we can help others, we have to help ourselves. Before we can, just like we say in the plane, before you have to apply these, these in times of emergency, something to the children, the parents have to put it on themselves. So same way, we say that before we go out in the world and say, I want to help others, we have to first take step to purify our own mind, so that we don't do it for some selfish motive. So it has to be done with a selflessness, and that's why. But most of the as I mentioned earlier, that there are different types of activities of Ananda Marga, and to make a beginning, the first thing is to get initiated, because through initiation you establish a connection with the ideology, with the Ishta, with the master, as well as with the with the principles, the values, the conduct rules, which the master has given for an ideal human being. So that's the beginning. That's the first step. And from there we take it according to our own desire. Nothing has to be forced on anybody. People have to accept it because it comes from within, and they embrace it according to their capacity, according to their need.
Thank you.